Good evening to all. Greetings from Mumbai, India. I've been going through a lot the last couple of hours since morning, and I came across with this issue in UUM. It was very unfortunate such an incident happened, and I had the chance to speak to many students over here, and spoke to most of my friends back in Malaysia from many different backgrounds, and I felt there was a need that I should address this issue uh, as my capacity as a Malaysian who was born and brought up in Malaysia, and as the president of the Medical Students Association of India. Now let's get into the postmortem of the incident. But before that, I like all of you to keep this in mind while I'll be speaking on my couple of points. Uh, in the beginning of the video, there was Ikra, right, which says, kami sokong keamanan sesama rakyat Malaysia yang berbilang kaum. That's it. The following few incidents that happened very quickly. For a recap, Bawani said, let's try to increase Malaysians' federal spending on education uh, by referring to a couple of countries in the same topic. But she did not mention whether the federal spending is supposed to be diverted to a particular community. She just mentioned it very generally. Now, what Sharifah said, not only she interrupted Bhavani's speech, uh, she also spoke about Berse, openly condemned it, and not long after that, she was pretty bold by saying, if you're not happy with Malaysia, you could leave Malaysia. To make things worse, while Babani was comparing Malaysia to other developed countries, Sharifah was comparing Malaysian citizens' problem to animal problems. She did not give a chance for her own colleague to speak, and completely diverted the issue to who wants a Galaxy Tab. Now, uh, from all this talking from Babani and from Sharifah, I have come up with four questions, or merely my thoughts, probably the thoughts of many Malaysians, millions of Malaysians who are probably hurt with the entire incident that took place in UUM. My first thought would be it hardly affects anyone, frankly. Let's be frank. It hardly affects you, me, or somebody around. No, it hardly affects. It probably would not affect Bhavani or Sharifah, as a matter of fact, or probably the ruling of opposition government. It doesn't affect anyone because Malaysia runs the same the next day. Uh, Frankly, both of them are mere individuals. But what is troubling me the most is why is the constitution of Malaysia not being respected as much as before? Our federal, a part of our federal constitution states we should not speak on issues dealing with religion, sultans, kings, and of course the special right of Bhumiputras. And we never do such, we don't speak such things because it's wrong. But the constitution never state even once to never question on federal spending, and of course never question about education or the right for education, because each and every one of us, we are entitled for education and we have the right for education. Now, that being said, again, if come to think about it, if a Malaysian student gets subsidized education or free education from primary school to secondary school, college, university, and at the end of the day, that particular person earns a degree, and if this happens to all Malaysian children, uh, what would happen is Malaysia would be having the highest number of graduates with a degree, probably better than most of the South Asian countries. Uh, that's where Malaysia could be. Think about it. And This would certainly proportionally decrease the brain drain that happens. Why do most of us who are doctors, engineers, or MBA graduates, or mass communication graduates, we don't want to stay in Malaysia because we don't get opportunities in Malaysia. Whether he or she is a Muslim or a Hindu or Buddhist, Christian, Catholic, anyone, right? Why don't we stay in Malaysia? Why is this brain drain happening? Think about it. It's because of the education system. Most of us go out of the country. We study there. We get a degree there, and we just live there because it was it's very comfortable to us. But if this condition can be generated in Malaysia, so the brain drain will not happen. When there's no brain drain, the efficiency of a country increases. When the efficiency of a country increases, productivity, growth, and the GDP of the country goes as well proportionally. Isn't that something that we all want for Malaysia? My next point is that's I'm just gonna bring you guys back 50 years from today, 50 odd years from today, somewhere around 1957. Uh, when Tunku Abdul Rahman, along with Tun Samadan, fought for independence for a lovely country, they would probably have argued between each other, probably in a discussion or criticizing each other's plan of action. How could we get Malaysia freed uh, in 1957? But the only point about their discussion is it was in a constructive way. When anything goes in a constructive way, things can change and things can change for good, right? And did we ever hear in any of our history books that we have studied in higher secondary uh, whether they have fought between each other? I've not heard, and no would be a very apt answer for this particular question. My third point would be long back, a couple of years ago, uh, Tun Dr. Mahathir, one of our former prime ministers, he came up with an idea of developed Malaysia. And what does it mean by a developed Malaysia? A developed Malaysia, it means a first world country, alright? And for Malaysia to come up as a first world country, no doubt, education is important, infrastructure of a country is important, economy of a country is important, the GDP growth, progress of the country is definitely important. Nobody's questioning that. But more than all of this, what is very important is the attitude of Malaysians. For Malaysia to become a first world country, the citizens of Malaysia should behave like a first world citizen. That being said, debate it's a debate in a town hall style. It's an amazing start and culture that is being adopted in Malaysia, and I completely support the idea of town hall debate. But what I don't support is the way that it has been conducted, especially in this UUM incident, right? Because when one person is speaking, if that particular person speaks beyond his or her time, there should be one person reminding him or her the timeline. If she's exceeded X minutes, you probably could give her one more minute to conclude her entire statement. But what happened here is her mic was just being pulled and she was being told to listen 8 times, right? If one have not completed their statement, how could one listen to another person, or to make it even worse, to listen when the person is rude to the person? Uh, well, that is not right, and that's very unethical. Uh, that is something that Sharifah should change in herself. Now, next thing, when you want to speak about something in public, you better get your points right. You better get your facts right, right? And please do not speak until and unless you have a valid factual point. And if you're thinking about speaking for the mere fact of talking, don't do it. It's not helping you. It's going to be very destructive, like what just happened a couple of days ago. And my last point would be Malaysia don't belong to Malays, don't belong to Chinese or Indians or anyone. It belongs to each and every one of us who are born in Malaysia, who are raised in Malaysia, and who are proud to call themselves Malaysian. Now, that is where we can find the ultimate peace, the ultimate harmony in the country. And you should apologize to Bawani, if Sharifah, if you're listening to this, you should apologize to Bawani for telling her to go out of Malaysia and live in some other country. No, you do not have the right to do that or to say that. And on a personal note, on a very very personal note, uh, these incidents, these tiny incidents that happen everywhere around the world. For example, the incident in UUM, it could be very small, but we should realize that we are no more in 1960s or 1980s or in the early 2000s. We are at 2013 this year, right? And one should not undermine the power of social media, right? There are like billions of people are on these social medias, and these type of issues coming on social media will not help Malaysia's reputation at a international scale, right? And another thing that I would like to bring up is today there are like thousands and thousands of Malaysian students who are studying abroad. India, Indonesia, United States, Norway, Ireland, United Kingdom, Australia. Many of us are studying outside India, and we miss our country, right? And, and we miss our country so much at tiny things. For example, teh tarik, nasi lemak, Milo ice becomes so important for us. And whenever we hear these kind of issues, to make it worse, whenever we hear these kind of issues from our Indian colleagues here, we feel embarrassed. And this thing should stop. And I like to end my video here today by the message given by Malaysian Airlines captains just after landing in Kuala Lumpur. This is what they normally say. On behalf of my crew, I'd like to welcome all foreigners to Malaysia, and to all Malaysians, welcome back home. Today, I'm asking you, Sharifah, give us a reason to come back home if you're going to speak this way. Finally, as an open statement, Sharifah, if you're listening to me here, one, I would like you to know that Malaysia does not belong to you, and since you said Bawani to leave Malaysia, you have no right for that. You have to apologize for that. Second, I like to go for an open debate with you, an open debate where we're going to discuss whatever that you've spoken, and bring whoever you would like to bring all the media houses that you know in Malaysia, and I will come with two things. I'll come with myself, and I'll come with a couple of papers. That's all, and probably we should talk. If you would like to talk, I would come, but this time, just to make it a little funny at the end, I would not want to have a hand mic. Probably I would like to have a collar mic where you cannot snatch it away. And to all viewers, thank you for watching this video. It's very important for us to understand a few facts that I have stated above, and I hope that things will change in Malaysia for the good. And please take good care of Malaysia. Have a great day ahead with your loved ones. Take care. Good night.